Peasant Productions presents the math of ESP, why it works even if you don't believe in it. Day 36 and almost the end of the year. Having a little bit of fun here, doing stuff, putting stuff together. And I kind of figured it might be a good idea to remind everybody of why the United States government wants me dead and why they threaten to kill me should I ever again enter a United States courtroom for any reason, or a courthouse for any reason, because they so fear me. And the reason being is right here in my hand, and I'll put a close-up video of this in there. Supreme Court of the United States, Office of the Clerk, William Souter, Clerk of the Court. Now, William Souter is, at that point in time, one of the Chief Justices. So if this is a different Souter, oh well, such is life. But it says through here, we're unable to assist you, okay? And then it goes on to say that the jurisdiction of this court extends only to the consideration of cases or controversies properly brought before it to the lower courts in accordance to federal law. Okay, well, federal law says that if you know of the commission of a crime, regardless of who you are, where you are, in any way, shape, or form, you have 72 hours in which to do something to rectify that situation. This is my opening letter. This is the opening page. This is the first thing that was seen when it was opened up. It states Justices, Declaration of Facts, and right here where I've got a circle in yellow, it says this is about an ongoing child abuse case, okay? Child abuse is a federal offense. This person had absolutely no legal right to send me a letter telling me to go back and ask the court to, have his permission to further my case, okay? It's also, by the way, just for the fun of it here, September 11th, 2003, yeah, 2 years after that 9/11 event, I have another 9/11 event. This is the bombshell, because the United States Supreme Court denied me legal and properly filed legal response to a child abuse, domestic violence, terrorism, perjury by judges, okay? We're talking a whole slew of things that went on in this thing, and I included all kinds of stuff and evidence in it, from the idea that I was refused the right to file any charges against my ex-wife, on child abuse because she tried to murder the child in front of me, and as a photo editor of 6 newspapers under one publisher for 9 years, my photographs were thrown out simply because, the woman says she doesn't have any idea why. The criminal element was allowed to refuse the information. The criminal element was allowed to deny my evidence in court. The criminal element, United States Supreme Court, told me to go stuff it. Now, they literally violated federal law, so the United States Supreme Court is required to shut down, cease and exist, the United States government, which operates under that Supreme Court, is required to shut down and cease and desist all operations around the world because they do not have the legal right to promote any kind of child abuse, any kind of felony actions against human life. What have they been doing since 2001 and way back, further than that if you want to really go for it, okay? So I legally filed, by a loophole that I was very much aware of, documentation, and they denied it. When I walked into the courthouse in 2004, when I went into the originating courthouse of all the crimes, and I was walking in as a lawyer to go in to discuss my child custody payments, okay, my child support payments, and I would be in a totally different court with a totally different judge at that point in time. I had put into my briefs that I would be filing felony charges on these two judges. The police, the sheriff's department, went through the courthouse and warned them ahead of time that I was coming in with a bomb. Yeah, this is a bomb. And therefore everybody was, quickly, as soon as I walked into the courthouse, I watched police officers all over the place start shoving people inside of rooms and closing stuff off so they could not see what was going to happen to me. I was asked to be searched. I handed my stuff over to the officers to go ahead and search. I don't have a problem with that. And instead, the ringleader of that little group, I forget his name right now, but hollered, "Jump him!" And immediately I had 4 big, fat, heavy police officers in full gear and all of their armor and all of their weaponry and everything like that on top of me. And like you can see, I'm not a big, huge, burly person here. And they shoved me around for a while. They opened a bathroom door and were trying to shove me in there, and I could see from all the grinning faces that obviously they were going to really tromp the heck out of me. And fortunately for me, my bad knee gave out, and I, with the weight of 4 police officers, roughly 1,000 pounds, went slamming to the ground at about, 10 to 15 miles an hour, which is what broke this shoulder. This is physical evidence of the use of torture. This is physical evidence of the use of threat. This is physical evidence of the use of coercion. All felony counts, which go back on the United States Supreme Court. I was then put in jail. I spent 24 hours with a broken arm and complaining about the fact that I could not do anything with it. It was broken. It was hurt. It was, I was in pain. I was put in suicide watch, folks. A little glass room where, as I sat in there with no blanket and about 60 degrees in the room and shivered, and a cement floor to lay on. And every time I got up to go walk over and pee, the female officers, or female and male officers, came running over and pointing through the glass and laughing at me. Okay? Does anybody want to subpoena those unadulterated records, if they still exist, of the video evidence of what they did? No. Do you? No, you don't want to see that kind of stuff. You don't want to see cops say they're laughing at somebody, okay? I was a Los Angeles County Sheriff's Officer for 3 years. At that point in time, I listened to the instructor tell the cadets in the room that this is your gun, you shoot to kill always, never to stop. But if anyone asks you, you tell them that they were the ones that caused you to fear for your life, and you had to shoot, and you were only trying to stop them. Now, that was in 1978. I left Los Angeles County Sheriff Department in '81. I was working at the LA County Museum of Art, kind of a low-level area, but extreme high-money area of the Sheriff Department's stuff. And I got away with it. I just quit and walked out. I didn't say much of anything about what I knew, and I didn't say too much about all the rest of the corruption I was watching going on. So I'm still alive to this day. But have you ever noticed how police departments, all of them, use only internal police department investigations into shootings or corruption or somebody mysteriously dying in a jail cell? They never ever allow the public to conduct investigations. They never ever allow the public to walk in and just start grabbing evidence to take out and see what's going on. Why? Because they are fully involved in corruption. Los Angeles Sheriff Department was the go-to police department from the early 1970s all the way up, I think around 2014, I think they actually started dropping out of being the leading police department to learn about how to control problems in your city. What is the most common statement you hear on the news? Oh, that person made me shoot. They wouldn't have gotten shot if they hadn't run away. They wouldn't have gotten shot if they hadn't fought back. If I hadn't fought back, folks, I'd be dead. Understand? I have the legal right to protect my life, not because the United States or the Vatican or Europe or America or an indigenous people say so. Because the gods themselves grant me the right to live, just as they grant everything the right to live. And I have the right to protect myself just as any mouse has the right to protect itself from a cat or a fox or a wolf. Okay? You do not have the right to tell anybody they cannot protect themselves from any kind of assault and then use resisting arrest. Or like the Mexican police do here, they have what they call a pocket law. Pocket knives are illegal in Mexico. Every workman carries a pocket knife. Yeah. Dozens of stores in this very town sell pocket knives. People with their little stands sell pocket knives. But they're illegal. No, it's a pocket law. When the police want to pick somebody up, oh, look, you got a pocket knife on your keychain. That's illegal. You're going to jail for 5 years. Yeah. It's a very convenient thing for corrupt systems to use. So the police here broke and violated their own law by smashing in my door. I've had bunches of people walk up and tell me, oh, they're not going to do anything, so I'm a good, honest Mexican. You have to immediately believe me and open up the door and come outside and sit with me on the street and show that you're not afraid of it, and I'm going to protect you. Really? $10 million to $50 million of income, US dollars of income, to this one town in the Vatican itself for what is a fraudulent circus act. Okay? That is why the United States wants me dead. That is why I am under threat of being killed. That's why when they stuck me in a mental institution, which is very common, notice how many times whistleblowers suddenly have some kind of mental issues, or as in the case of Assange, oh, he's a child rapist, everybody. Get worried, he's a child rapist. Don't listen to him. They go out and they dirty your name. Why? Because public masses worry about their social status. They don't care about law, they care that everything looks good. They care that they are getting their food and their beer and their hot dogs and their entertainment on TV, and they don't care to change the game. They don't care to do what's proper and legal. They care to do what is socially acceptable. So that's why I say you need to stop and really kind of think about what's going on. And you need to understand that, yes, I do have physical evidence. This is never going away. Hands here are physical evidence that the police broke in and tried to break in and physically fought with me to do something that was illegal, to block me from publishing a story that they have literally got over 300 years of crime, of felony crime, of coercion, using a cartel method of murdering and killing people simply to protect their income by a scam, a circus act declared by the Vatican to be a miracle because it brought in so much money for the Vatican. Yeah. So that's why I say, you need to stop and think, folks. You need to stop sitting there and whining about how you can't do anything because, oh, those other people are in charge. I can't do anything. Yeah. You stand up. One man, all by myself. I've got 3 nations literally in trouble. I got 3 nations literally want me dead. Okay. You can make a difference. Rainbow warriors are not fighting for the indigenous people of one little continent or one little island or one little tribe. Rainbow warriors are fighting for the life of your whole planet. And if you go and read some of those different prophecies from all over the planet, they are not just North America indigenous people prophecies. And fight for the whole planet, all life. Remember, Be the change you want to see in the world. Don't wait for the other person.